Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. The baby's actually asleep.
This is sketch.
This is like the weirdest thing we ever show. She's asleep on the bed behind us. So we thought that we would just start the video and then see what happens. Yeah. But anyways, we're gonna be doing a juicy Q&A today. I asked you guys what you wanted to know from us on Insta stories, yeah. And you guys sent like a ton of very intriguing questions. A lot of them are about moving, so we thought we would talk a little bit about like the concept of us moving to another country or just like what our life plans are in the beginning of today's video.
Yeah, that sparked like a really big, I don't want to say controversy, but we got a lot of questions about where...
Doug, it's not, he's like so funny. It's not controversy, Doug.
It is.
Well, people just, I mean, we don't even know what we're doing. So we thought we would open up the discussion and talk back and forth with you guys. And yeah, basically just catch you up on our lives because, I don't know, I've been wanting to vlog more. If you guys haven't noticed, I've been vlogging more and I thought I would answer some questions. So the baby just woke up, of course. But before we go ahead and get started with the Q&A and talking about like our travel plans, I wanted to thank Simply Self Storage for sponsoring today's video. We actually used them in the beginning of our marriage. Actually, I don't think we were married yet, but we were like in a weird limbo between like me still going to college and Doug like starting his career before we moved in together. And we put our stuff in there. We actually really liked it. The reason we like self-storage was because the first month is free, which is really nice. So like if we end up, you know, traveling abroad, it's not going to cost us like an arm and a leg if we only go for a couple months. And the second thing was the fact that there's no credit card needed upon booking. Not to mention there are convenient locations pretty much everywhere.
So they also have 24/7 surveillance, which is really important to me because I like to know that my stuff is secure.
Doug is very paranoid about it.
Yeah, and then they also have like climate controlled units.
Yeah.
So that one day that I get a really expensive car and it needs to be in a climate controlled area.
Why would your car
go in storage for when we travel?
No, need to be climate controlled.
Oh, because you need to protect it against like mold and humidity and everything. Yeah, humidity is like a really big deal. Not in California, obviously, but
oh yeah, like in the South, you absolutely need that for sure. I also like the fact that they have really amazing year-round promotions, so you can always find a deal pretty much if you look at the right time of year. And they also provide packing supplies, which would have been so nice to know when we were moving like a million times last year and the year before. So yeah, packing supplies is great. So this is what one of their boxes look like. The boxes are actually very sturdy. We use them to move some of our stuff from Charleston over here, and they were really good. And the last thing that I love about them is that they actually have an auto pay feature, so I don't want to be like worried if we live somewhere else if we're gonna like forget to pay the self-storage fee.
That's like Hayley's biggest fear.
Yeah, I'm always worried about that. Not to mention they have really competitive pricing, so it's not super expensive. It's very affordable and it makes it easier to travel. So I'll go ahead and leave a link in the top of the description box to where you guys can check them out.
So this first question is from Jean Claire 8634. It says, moving cross country soon, any tips?
Doug can answer this one because I was not involved.
I did everything.
Okay, that's not a tip.
I would say when you're moving cross country, for some tips, it's to plan extra budget would be the biggest thing. Plan extra budget because you'll get quotes and you'll get some things from different companies and stuff, but it's always nice to be able to have that, to know that you have that flexibility.
Yeah, when we moved back here, we actually moved on a whim because, why did we move on a whim? Oh, wait, why did we do that? The shipping of the cars?
So what happened was we shipped the cars. We try to time everything all at the same time, which try to do that too. Try to make sure that you get everything there and,
it's a lot.
and you know, together at the time that you're arriving to when you're moving across country. But what ended up happening was that all of our stuff was shipped and it was like faster than we thought, and we didn't need to be at our house when they picked up a couple days later in Charleston. So Hayley was like, well, we're going. Let's
book a flight tomorrow because none of our stuff are there. So it's like, what's the point?
Another moving tip. Don't pack things until 3 in the morning when your Uber comes to pick you up for the airport.
Wait.
I was slamming the storage container shut.
It was a hot mess, you guys.
It was bad.
Like right before we got in our Uber to like drive away. Hire unpackers.
Yeah, hire unpackers.
I mean, it's not that expensive and it only takes them like 2 hours. I mean, at least for us.
Yeah.
Depends on how much stuff you have.
Yeah, it definitely does. So try to make things as easy as possible on yourself, and please label everything. Like colored tape.
We're probably not the best people.
No, big giant stickers right on the boxes.
Colored tape, like each color for each bedroom would be smart. We didn't do that.
Yes, no, we didn't do any of that. And so I'm over here unboxing things in the wrong room. the unpacking guys are like, where do I put this? And I'm like, just put it there.
So this next question was asked a lot, so we don't have like a username, but the question's kind of like, you know, are we traveling next year? Like, are we gonna live in Southern California forever? So we're definitely still kind of like in a limbo, at least in our minds, because we don't know where we want to live. We really like Southern California. We're probably gonna stay here. And we just, I don't know, Southern California is so big. There are so many opportunities like and places, she's talking, for us to live. We're really interested in San Diego or maybe like Newport Beach area. We really loved Manhattan Beach where we lived before. So we have no idea. I think we need to like stay in the places or like visit the places more.
I don't know. BC, this is what happened with Charleston. We were like, maybe Charleston would be nice, and then we moved there for a year and then moved back.
It was totally worth it though.
It was absolutely worth it.
But the other thing about like traveling abroad, I have a lot of reservations as to when we're gonna do it. I definitely think we want to do it, but we're not sure like for how long. And that's why we really did want to put our stuff in storage, just because it's not like something super permanent.
Yeah. And you know, we really thought about it, and getting this time in to try to potentially live abroad. Like, living abroad is kind of scary, don't get me wrong. So
at least
doing
for
it,
us.
yeah, at least for us. So doing it when they're younger and, you know, not dedicated to like a group of friends or before Annabelle has too many opinions.
Or when she, really? That time has passed. But like when they're in school is like the biggest thing. If we end up putting them in like traditional schooling. We wanted to do it like before we have any more kids.
Oh, hello.
So we are thinking about doing it next year. And trying it out. If you guys have any tips, let us know. Look, plus, she's awake.
Annabelle just loves sushi.
Oh, she's like obsessed.
Obsessed with sushi.
Oh my gosh. And that would be so fun to vlog.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? The other thing that I really like about living somewhere else and putting our stuff in storage, just for like a period of our life, is the fact that it forces us to be more minimalistic and like value things that are actually important. Because I think sometimes, especially where we live, there's like this stigma. It's definitely like keeping up with the Joneses, and I think everybody, unless you're perfect, which no one is, but I think everyone kind of falls prey to that. And especially since we don't own our own home right now, I think it's a great time. Not to mention when we do end up traveling abroad, I think it will just make us more well-rounded like people, and it will force us to downsize all of like the material possessions we have. And I just have a really strong feeling that it will make us just like more aware of like what's really important in life. And I think sometimes over time, I don't know, like that can just get kind of clouded. Yeah,
I definitely want to be able to cut down to take in the surroundings more. Okay. Baby switch.
This one's a good one. This is from Kate No Dado. She says, I know I'm gonna butcher all of these usernames, so I'm sorry in advance. What would you do differently in your life before you had kids? And don't be like, nothing, I don't regret anything. Like, be real, because I mean, come on. Definitely travel, because traveling with kids, no, you're gonna say something about your car. Oh, really? Traveling with kids, you know, it's a good time, but it's a mission. At the end of it, it's not vacation, like ever.
Yeah.
Never. So, is that all you're gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna say I probably want to travel more.
I thought he was gonna say like drift his car more.
No, I could drift a lot.
I tell him he could drift his car now, but he's like, I'm too busy.
Yeah, I am, unfortunately.
This is from Pre-Lil Cow.
Wow, dude, you are bad.
She knows it. She knows her. Does Doug have guilt going back to work? Do dads have guilt like moms? Be honest.
Okay, honestly, I didn't have that much guilt when Annabelle was first born and I was working.
Oh, because it was like expected.
Yes, it was expected.
Like when he went to a regular job.
But now that I work from home and I get to see them all the time, I feel like I would have some kind of guilt. More so, not really as much leaving the kids as much, because I still play with them a lot and I still do a lot of things. But it's really like...
Oh, I know. Yeah.
What?
It's like guilt because you're leaving me with the children to fend for myself.
Yes.
It's rough, like just the mental shift, because you know you have to have a lot of discipline.
Yeah.
And he could easily just come home if I'm like, guilt. I'm dying.
The guilt is like I have to force myself to be at work to work to try to, you know, get things done and progress our life. But the guilt is like, I could come home at any time and I can take care of Annabelle if she's throwing a fit or something.
Yeah, and honestly, like, this is kind of unrelated, but yesterday I almost texted Doug, like, I'm not kidding, like 5 times, like, this is so annoying, because we used to always be together, and now we're like transitioning to me doing it. Like yesterday at the park, I don't remember, or the baby wasn't going to sleep, and I was like, this is stupid, I'm coming home.
She sent me a picture.
But then I was like, no. No, hold it together. Okay. He can't like stop his work, even though he technically 100% could.
Yeah.
But I have to like restrain my crazy.
I mean, recently I was like working and Hayley sends me a picture. And it's her or Hayley's obviously on a bench far away from the play area.
Oh my god, I'm not doing that anymore.
Sitting in
the swing because she wouldn't get out of the swing at the park, and I had to breastfeed the baby. So it looked like I was just some kind of
neglectful
mom.
And Annabelle's just like sitting there in the swing.
And I tried. I bribed everything. I was like, you want a show? You want a freaking chocolate? Like, she wouldn't do it. So I had to like watch my child from afar. Just sit in that swing, and all the other parents were like, this is so good. This is from Huds92. Would you have waited longer to have Scarly if you knew how crazy it would be? Let's like not like answer from a place of like, we're super grateful and, you know, like the boring answers. Like, let's
the super like, boring answers of like, if Scarly would be any different than no.
Like,
let's assume all things like, being equal, that Scarlet would be exactly the same.
Yeah.
If she came out and
but
everything
also
would be
like,
fine.
you know, obviously we're so thankful. I have to say that we're so thankful for where we are. Wouldn't change anything.
Throw the disclaimer on the screen.
I have to. But do you want me to? You answer first.
So,
the transition, like
half and half. That's me, and I'm not saying half and half to be politically correct. I'm saying half because when they're close and they're older, it's gonna be really cool. They're gonna do lots of things
but we don't
together.
know yet because like they're not older, so we can't see if it's worth it.
I'm
like,
2 years apart from my brother, which is about their age. Yeah, so it was really cool being able to have my brother run around and do things. But let's put it this way: I busted out this like ancient toy that Annabelle used to play with when she was younger. She hasn't seen in like 8 months.
Yesterday.
Yeah, and Scarlett wants to play with it. All of a sudden it's Annabelle's again.
Oh yeah,
and she wants to play
like a
with
baby
it,
toy.
and she wants to rip it away from Scarlett. And they're so at this point they're close in age to where it's like they could still fight over things.
Annabelle's still like a baby, you know. She can't control her emotions in any way.
Annabelle rips the passy out of her mouth and puts it in her mouth. She doesn't even use a pacifier. Yeah.
But also like on a more raw note, like the first, I mean, I've already said this in like past videos, but when Scarlett was born, it was like the roughest time of our lives. Like gonna be 100%.
That I'm real. Like blacked out for 2 weeks.
I like don't want to remember.
Like it's gone.
Because Annabelle didn't understand. It's like the guilt was so intense. She dropped her toy. That I definitely wouldn't recommend that. But at the same time, we don't know. I mean, obviously I can tell they're already playing together and it's like so just heartwarming to see them play together. But the first 6 months, not gonna lie, it's just now like coming out of the fog. The first 6 months were real struggles.
And I don't know if it's because like Annabelle co-slept and now there was somebody else like intruding on her space.
And we were always with her.
Yeah, or if it was just like the attention thing.
This is from Mara's Corner. Do you ever have rough patches in your marriage and how do you get through them?
Marriage is one big rough patch.
I would say like with kids, I mean if we didn't have kids, I don't think that there'd be anything to worry about.
Yeah.
But the children really just bring out the angst in you.
What it does is the children, it's not necessarily that we're fighting over the children.
Not one kid, it's like,
it's not like we're fighting over the children.
Yeah, no.
It's that the children put extra stress and anxiety on the things that you're doing.
Yeah.
So then, you know.
Like when we never really get to have, like right now my mom's watching Annabelle, which praise be to her. But normally that's never the case. So if we ever want to have a real discussion, she won't let us. Like she screams over us, not screams, but you know, like they always want
attention. She asks for our attention and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's rough.
I mean, to answer the rough patch question, it's not like there's a rough patch. There's rough moments in the day, and at the end of the day when we get together, we're like, dude, that was rough, and then if there's a lot of rough reconciling that needs to happen, then it happens. There's never a time where it's like for 4 days I'm just glaring at Hayley.
No, we never go to bed mad. Nothing. We definitely go to bed like peeved at the day or whatever. Not every day, but like sometimes.
I've never felt peeved at each other at the end of the day. Like
we usually are just like, I wouldn't have reacted that way if we didn't have kids. I promise.
I still like you. I didn't mean what I said. I'm just kidding.
So yeah, we've never had like a rough patch. Nothing scandalous. You guys know we're pretty like...
We're pretty chill. Let's be real.
This is funny, and I want to answer honestly.
Okay.
Alley Cat Schmically Cat. I don't know.
What? No, let me...
Okay, did Doug actually like doing the whole YouTube thing with you? Do you still like it?
Okay, I still like it.
Remember when one of my mini channel changes, when we went from like Hayley Page to Hello Johnson Family for like a month?
Yeah.
Go ahead. How did you feel about that?
Okay, I'll be totally honest with you guys. me vlogging alone is not my favorite thing.
He didn't know that. We should have tested it before.
We should have.
But he was like, yeah, I could do it. Like,
Yeah.
what's the big deal?
Yeah.
And I was like, this will take much like less, or this will take stress off my plate. It'll be so much more interactive with the family. No. I asked him, I'm like, you gotta vlog more. Like, you only vlog for like 30 seconds. And he was like, I have nothing to say.
I literally don't. I'm like so, I'm
It's 'cause
so
he doesn't
caught
know
up
the
in the
audience.
moment, and I'm so caught up in like trying to do whatever it is that I'm doing that I don't think about what to say on camera.
Yeah, so.
I will say it was like way back when I used to record myself driving to work.
When there's no
And I would
pressure.
talk about those kinds of things.
When
Yeah,
there's no pressure and it like wasn't a job. Yeah, I mean, who cares, right?
I know.
But yeah, he didn't like it.
Yeah, I do still like being on camera.
He likes
and I
his
still like
own
being
channel
there.
by himself, but not like.
Why are you painting me this way?
I don't think you mind if like you vlog now, because it's like you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Like if you want to, not that you really do, but yeah, before I was like.
It was like, Doug,
I
it was
wouldn't
like, Doug, this
recommend
is
it.
your channel now. And I was like,
This is from Kristen JY. When do you want to have baby number 3? I was actually thinking about that in the bathroom while getting ready this morning, and not for a while. I really just can see the light at the end of the tunnel as far as like them playing by themselves and giving us like room to breathe.
I'm
Not
thinking
anytime
like
soon.
3 to 4 years.
Yeah, like a good gap. We don't know if we want, well, he says he only wants 3 kids. I think maybe 3 or 4, but then it's like, I have no idea. If I get a taste of like the freedom, I might be like, I'm done. Like, I don't know. But definitely not 2. I can't only go through the baby phase. Personally, I don't know about Doug, but twice in my life. They're just so freaking cute. Like, heck no. I have like baby fever, but I already have babies, so don't worry. Not anytime soon. This one I wasn't gonna respond to, but whatever. This is the only person that sent me this so far. But this is from Smart Family XO. What happened? Used to be so easy to relate to and so open, and now one opinion today, different tomorrow. I don't know, it's cut off. I'm not really sure what she means by that. I think maybe I'm totally speculating, but since like I have changed the type of content on my channel, I have gotten a few people saying, you're not as easily relatable or whatever. But I think it's just because I'm not putting out as much of my life on the internet, and I'm still kind of deciding like where the line is. Like seriously guys, being a internet personality or whatever, putting yourself online, it's very vulnerable, and you won't know until you do it, because you get like just so many like swarms of opinions, and it really does like make you reconsider like what you share. So for a while I was sharing like everything. It was like word vomit. I didn't care. And then like as my channel grew, I got so many opinions and like so many people telling me I'm doing something wrong or right or whatever, and it's just like so conflicting. So for a while I just thought, I don't want to put anything out, you know, like I don't want to say anything. I actually found last year, which is a big reason why I changed like the type of content on my channel, I found like, it wasn't like a hate site, but it was something kind of like that. And I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like this is like crossing the line. Like I don't want to say anything. I've never really said that on my channel before, but I really just totally like reeled it back, changed everything because I couldn't take it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I talked to Doug about it like every day back then.
Every night.
Now I feel like I'm just now like coming out of it. And maybe it's because the content or the comments aren't on my channel. I don't know what it is, but what do you think? Do you have an opinion, like watching from an outsider perspective?
I think what's
like the
happened,
relatability thing?
Yeah. What's happened is
Because I'm still me. I just don't share like I used to, you know?
I forgot where I heard this from, but there's always like a struggle or a challenge or something that happens when you are growing. So like you hit a point and it's like things seem like they're really down, things get really tough, but it's because you're about to go through a big change, a big shift, a big transformation.
Read that. That's weird. I just read
Yeah. So what happened from an outsider's perspective is that your channel started to grow so much that the things you started to say started to hit so many more people, and it's unfortunate, but no one is really, you know, 100%. What's the word I'm trying to think
themselves.
of? No one has ever really 100%, you know, defended against bad, like negative comments. Once your channel started to grow more, the comments started to get to you a little bit more. And
I don't know what it was.
A little bit more. People started to get more extreme.
I had a wall.
Yeah.
Especially when I found like a lot of people, not a lot. It wasn't a lot, but it was like a
It's
couple
enough to
hundred
feel it.
people.
Yeah.
You know, on this particular site, like saying nasty things about me. I was like, I don't want to share anything, and it sucks because if I hadn't have found that, or if I hadn't have like felt the flack, I wouldn't have, you know, changed as much. But
now
I feel like I'm coming out of it.
Yes. It's
I don't know.
I've seen you become accustomed to things and accustomed to the way things are.
It does definitely hurt my feelings. Like, I'm not gonna lie, when people say you're not relatable anymore or you've changed. Like, I've only changed like what type of things I'm putting online. Like I myself am the same person.
Same, exactly.
The only difference is obviously I'm sharing more strong opinions about like finances and like, you know, growing a business and doing things that, you know, not everyone is doing. So I'm definitely like singled out in that way. Like most people don't live the life we do. And I decided to share more about that. And I think that makes people question themselves. I don't know what it is, but anyways, good news. Yeah, we are, but that's okay. Good news is that I feel like I'm coming out of it and I want to vlog more. I've never had the urge to vlog in like months, like since last October when I changed. But now I feel like, okay, I want to vlog more and that says something. So, I mean, I'm hoping that you guys find me more relatable again. Like it sucks for the people that have watched me for so long and think that, but I mean, no one stays the same all the time. Like I am the same, but I mean, people are like this. Like, what can I say, you know? This is the #1 question, like, not gonna lie. This is from Saba Fate. How do you maintain the romance with 2 little ones? Like, keep the romance alive by trying not to be naggy. I'm trying to do that more. Not, like, complaining about, you know, the things with the kids and maybe trying to, like, block that out.
Dedicating, like, we started to really dedicate time for ourselves.
Yeah.
As little of time as possible. I mean, as much as time as possible with the little time that we have. And that's... to me that helps, like, to me that helps to keep the romance alive, just like trying to do it, not giving up, and trying to like keep things going. I think like with this phase of life with 2 little kids, I think the biggest thing for keeping romance alive is kind of overlooked, and something I've realized lately is that like you have to put your spouse first. So by me like giving Doug time to work, it's almost like, you know, we get more romance back in our lives. That's like a romantic notion to me.
Because it's like so selfless and I don't have to do it. I mean, I do have to do it, but like I don't have to, you know, give him so much time, you know, because we own our own schedules. And because I do that, like he's happier, I'm happier, even the children are happier. So like putting your spouse first is really like, I mean, as far as we're gonna go with that question,
that's like a really, really good answer. That's exactly how I put it.
Meow Mix, who is an OG subscriber, thank you for following. When they ask you in Mexican restaurants, what do you pick, corn or flour?
Whoa, easy, easy.
She's still giving me out.
Let's clarify real quick, Meow Mix. Are we talking burritos or are we talking tacos?
It depends.
Because that's a big deal.
Yeah, corn tacos, flour burritos.
Yes, absolutely. Corn tacos, flour burritos. There are some instances where you're like, maybe I'll do a flour taco. And it's a very, very specific instance. Flour tacos are actually pretty good when you have like fish tacos.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Healthy mom, active life. That's funny. How do you keep a healthy weight? Very related to your name. I mean, I wouldn't say we're the healthiest people ever, but I'm definitely healthier than where I was when I was pregnant. And I think we just eat in moderation. Like we eat everything. Last night I ate like half a sleeve or maybe a whole sleeve of Oreos.
I did a whole one. I opened it, I was like...
It was like, you ate them all. I'm like, no, you have your own sleeve. So we definitely like, you know, eat everything. Soda, I mean, I'm not the healthiest.
Yeah. But we haven't had Oreos in months.
Yeah. And I think it's just like portion control, honestly. Yeah. If I ate a lot, like if I ate as much as I wanted, I would weigh twice as much, like honestly.
Yeah. Pretty Magic 30 asks, Doug's Twitch, it's cute.
What is that? I actually saw this and I don't think Doug has a Twitch.
Do I?
I thought it meant like his Twitch account, like.
I don't have a Twitch account.
Like for gaming. But what is his Twitch? Let us know.
Yeah,
is it your eye? Does your eye Twitch?
Maybe it does. Do I do weird things?
He has really big lips, so maybe.
Or something? Like,
no, you don't. Let us know what his Twitch is, or if I have a Twitch. Actually, I talk out of one side of my mouth. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, I smile and like, I don't know which side of my lip goes down.
Talk like that.
Okay, really. Baby was getting restless, so I'm gonna answer this one last question. This is from Hayley Bean. Is the standard of what you do change as a stay-at-home mom, dinner maid, etc.? So I actually recommended that book by Dr. Laura, 2 of them, in like the last vlog. And I got a lot of like opinions about it because she's very blunt, the lady that writes the book. She's like an old talk show host. Not old. Well, she is older, but like her talk show was like a couple years ago. And she's very blunt and she basically believes that like stay-at-home moms are so valuable. She actually has a book called In Praise of Stay-at-Home Moms. It's really good. And it's all about like what their role is and that they should take pride in keeping a happy home and, you know, making sure your husband has all his needs met and your kids. And so I really do believe in all of that stuff. It definitely comes from a more traditional stance, and I think a lot of times, especially in 2019, it is talked down upon, like the traditional role of a stay-at-home mom. It's not like valued as much, and women kind of tend to feel, at least myself, like, I don't know, almost like a sense of worthlessness if they don't do anything outside the home. And as much as I do preach, like, you know, have a side hustle and bring in an income for your family, I think that if you don't want to do that, like, there's definitely no shade in just taking care of your family. Like, that's what I want to do. So I do have a standard for like what, in a perfect world, if I could be just a stay-at-home mom, which is my goal, and have my channel and like my business and my blog and all that just like side income and not relied upon, I would definitely try and get, you know, just like back to how I was with having the dinner made and making sure the house is clean, and, you know, all of the traditional stuff that stay-at-home moms tend to do. I think that it's definitely overlooked, and it's something that makes the family unit just like so much more happier. Doug would love it too, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, right now I pretty much cook the meals, but they're not like to the standard that I would want. I mean, last night we had like a very bland, like, I wish I could put like love into the meals.
Yeah.
She's holding a chicken. So yeah, I think that's definitely back to that. So that's pretty much it for today's juicy Q&A and answering questions about our move. Thank you guys so much for watching my channel with Doug on it, obviously, our channel. I think we might do a part 2 because I got so many of these questions. Yeah. Subscribe if you're new and press the like button if you like these videos, and we'll see you in our next one. Bye guys.
Bye.